What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It ain't a beautiful day in Port Charles, but where I'm at is beautiful. The weather is just right. It's been nice all day. People out here with their motorcycles and dirt bikes, and I'm enjoying it. I love it. This is my type of weather. This is my type of day. Getting into this episode of GH, listen. What in the entire hell is going on? I'm looking at this episode. I said, I know damn well, they did not just kill Franco off. I know you did. Writers, I know you did. Tell me this is like a joke. If this was like a few years ago, I probably would have jumped for joy if they were to kill Franco off. But you know what? He grew on me. Franco, he changed my mind about him because listen, when he stepped up and he married Elizabeth and he took those kids on as his stepchildren and he saw them as his children, like he was planning college funds for them kids, the whole 9 yards. And for somebody to do that for three boys who are not theirs, that is a special type of love. It's a special kind of person to do that because not many men would do that. Hell, there ain't many women out here that would deal with a man who got three kids and he's a single dad and you're taking on that responsibility. And not many men out here would take on that responsibility of helping a woman out with her kids, let alone three boys. Like, and he's been there for all three of them when they were going through something. Jake, when Jake was going through that whole situation after he came back and Helena had kidnapped him, Franco was there for Jake. Getting through to him through art and stuff like that, he was there for him. When Aiden was going through being bullied at school for being different, you know what I mean? Franco was there for him. He tapped into Aiden's true calling, to his desire of being a chef and baking and stuff like that. You know, in Cameron. Like he's been there definitely for Cameron with what he's been going through. With the college situation, with the whole Shiloh mess and saving him. And, he's been there for Cameron. He's been there for all three of them boys in a different way. Dealing with all three of those personalities and maintaining a marriage with Elizabeth. That's not easy. And Franco stepped into that role flawlessly. There were some bumps in that role, but you know what? He did it with grace. And you know what? I'm going to sing his praises. Because, like I said, in real life, you don't have many men that would step up and do what he did. So to see that on TV, it's like, hey, I gotta salute that because that's wild right there. Um, but damn, man, when Franco got shot and Peter's sitting there standing over his body, talking about how does it feel, I wanted to whoop Peter's ass. I wanted to whoop him. I wanted to beat him down. Listen, I know a lot of people give Wes Ramsey a lot of shit because of the way he got hired or whatever. Everybody call him Parking Lot Peter. Listen, Wes Ramsey, come on now. He is really a good actor. He really is. I don't actor bash. I really don't. And the reason I don't actor bash is because I can't do what they do. I mean, I probably could do what they do, but it would be hard for me because, I'm not a trained actor. I didn't go through acting classes like them. They work their asses off to get to where they are. From the Denzel Washingtons to the Samuel L. Jacksons to the late great Cicely Tysons of the world and to Raji P. Hensons to the Jenny Francis to the Jane Elliott's of the world, the Leslie Charlesons of the world. They've all worked their asses off, man. Steve Burton, Maurice Bernard, Laura Wright, the list goes on. They've all, just worked hard to get to where they are. You know what I mean? And it's not easy to act, especially on daytime. Because what people don't understand about daytime actors, they have to read a lot of dialogue. They have to film a lot of episodes in one day and memorize all that dialogue. Um, it's like 80 pages, like 80 to 100 pages of freaking dialogue they have to read and memorize that shit. I would lose my shit if I had to do that 5 days a week. I would go cuckoo for fucking Cocoa Puffs if I had to do that. It's hard for me to remember did I fucking eat in a day? You know what I'm saying? Like, let alone to memorize these words on a page and walk into the room and act that out. Not only do you got to memorize it, you got to act out that emotion too. That's hard, man. That is not easy. It can be done, but it is not an easy feat. So I salute these actors and actresses because people give, some of these actors and actresses shit talking about, oh, you can't act, you can't act. My response to that is go to the studio, read the script, and do what they do, and tell me if you can do any better than what they're doing. That's my response to it because I tip my hat to them, and I don't even wear hats, but I tip it to them. Um, because if you could tell if an actor's good when they make you believe the character, you know what I'm saying? And when Peter is in this mold and he looks psychotic because he makes a certain facial expression and you can see it in the eyes, like the boy ain't wrapped too tight. So when he was looking at Franco and stuff after he shot him and he said that, it was very chilling. And it made me want to whoop his ass. That tells me you did your job. You did your job as an actor. If you can make me dislike you, and that's what you are supposed to do, you're doing your job. And I think that's the whole purpose of Peter's character. He's supposed to make you like, want to beat him down. He's in that villainous role. Do I think the Peter character compares to past villains? Nah. Nah, absolutely not. Nah, not by a long shot. But he's holding his own though. I will say that because he is making me hate him. Um, but man, when Jason got the ping thanks to Spinelli, he found out where Franco was, and Liz was running around looking for Franco because her and Sam had that conversation about what went down at the wedding, and Franco was looking for Jason and Peter, and when Jason got to the studio, Franco was on the ground bleeding out. Liz got there and she's trying to, do CPR and chest compressions and all that and have him speak to her. And, it was sad because Franco, he opened his eyes and Jason's on the phone calling 911. And, he opened his eyes and stuff. And, he just told Liz, once he said to Liz, I love you, and tell the boys I love them. Once he said that, that was his swan song. Because whenever somebody say, "Oh, I love you," and tell the kids I love them, they know they're dying. They know they can't be saved. And I felt horrible for Liz. I felt horrible because she's now a widow. You know what I mean? Like, I felt horrible, and the toll it is going to take on those boys, especially Cameron. Especially Cameron. I'm going to get on Cameron in a second. But Jordan got to the studio and stuff, and she was wondering what the hell was going on. And she was asking Elizabeth what was going on. Liz looked at Jason and basically accused him of killing Franco. Now, I'm willing to give Elizabeth a pass on this one because clearly she's not thinking straight. She's not thinking right. She's in an emotional state right now. She's in a state of shock. She's watching her husband die before her eyes. She just got a million things going through her mind, so of course she's going to assume Jason has something to do with it. But once I think she calms down and thinks reasonably and logically, I think she'll see there's no way Jason could have done that due to the fact that there's no way Jason could have done it. Because when Jason got there, think about it. He's calling 911. If Jason would have shot Franco, Jason would have got the hell out of there. Jason would have been got the hell out of there. He would have caught ghosts and he never would have stood around calling 911. You know what I mean? He never would have done that. Who have you ever seen Jason shoot and kill and call 911 for? Like, think. That man, please, he would have skedaddled. He would have, hell no. Jason, a skilled hitman such as himself, is just standing around, yeah, let me call 911 and snitch on myself and go to jail. Hell no. I'm like, come on, Liz, think. But I'm going to give her a pass because she's going through a lot right now. She's not in the right frame of mind. But damn, man, Franco, yo. R.I.P. Losing Roger Howarth, man, he's a gem. I'm going to tell you that right now. He's a diamond when it comes to the soap opera genre. Like that man right there, man. I followed his career ever since I started watching One Life to Live, and when he moved over to As the World Turns as Paul Ryan. Then he came back as Todd Manning. He moved over to General Hospital as Todd Manning. Then they gave him the Franco role. And I never thought I would ever warm up to Franco. I never thought I would. But you know what? They made a believer out of me once they started changing him around and you saw different sides to him and the way he stepped up for Liz and her kids, man, I became a big fan. I was a fan when James Franco played the role because it was such a good role for James Franco. Like he was fit for that role. But then when Franco took it over, it was like a different little aspect to it that I didn't like at the time. Because I'm like, James Franco did that role so much justice when he was in that villainous part. But Franco definitely, Roger definitely took over the role and made it his own. And kudos to Roger, man. If they don't put him in a different role or something, man, I really hope to see Roger in a different show. I really do. Because I would hate to see that talent go to waste. That's a huge talent. Um, I can see him really going to Days or Y&R, to be honest. B&B, I don't know. I don't think B&B would know what to do with that type of talent. Y&R and Days, I think they would definitely know what to do with that. But man, hats off to Roger, man. Damn. I mean, I've been hearing rumors that Roger was gonna go, but I don't listen to rumors until I hear a confirmation from, legit sources. But man, that was a hard pill to swallow right there. So moving on from that, um, yeah, that scene with Cameron, man, is heartbreaking because he was talking to Scott and stuff, and he basically was telling Scott that he felt like Franco was giving up, and him and the other boys came up with an idea that they were gonna write out a list of things that they were gonna want to do with Franco and stuff like that, and they wanted Scott to write it up as a contract for Franco to sign. And Scott thought it was a brilliant idea. I did too. Because I feel like that was gonna keep Franco's spirits up. But damn, man, right after that scene, man, it's messed up knowing that Cameron's never gonna get that opportunity. Him, Jake, Aiden, they're never gonna get that opportunity to do any of the things on their list that they wanted to do with Franco. They're not gonna get that opportunity with him. And what I love about this, because it shows you that everything that's going on the show, even in real life, it just shows you that like it's crazy how life can smack you in the face that fast. Like you're here 1 minute, going the next. That's why I think there's a message to all of that, and the message is like live life. You know what I'm saying? Like live it to the fullest, because it's like damn, you could be wiped off the face of the earth in 5 minutes. Like I'm sitting here now, I could be gone in 10 minutes. I could be gone in 10 seconds. You just never know. It's a scary thought, but you just gotta live. With no regrets, absolutely none. But man, I felt bad for Cam, man. I really did. I felt bad for him because when he hears the news that Franco's gone, I can tell he's gonna go ape shit. So anyway, moving on from that, Mac should not blame himself because Mac was pissed that Peter slipped right through his radar because he accepted Peter, even when everybody else like Robert was telling him, yeah, he's just like Faison, he's this, he's that. Mac gave that boy the benefit of the doubt, and Mac is pretty much kicking himself at this point. But I do agree with Anna. Like Peter was just good at turning that charm on. He wanted people to see what he wanted them to see, not what they needed to see. He was good at turning that on. It was like a hypnotic charm that he had. You know what I mean? Like he was good at showing, like Britt said, Peter was good at showing people the side of him that was worthy of love. That's what he was good at. And I definitely concur with that notion. But Mac was ready to whoop Peter's ass. Mac just wanted to wrap his hands around that boy throat. And he basically apologized to Robert and stuff for not believing in him when he was saying all of this a while ago. He wished that him and Robert could have teamed up to run Peter ass out of town and just get him away from Maxie. But it ain't no sense in going into the past like, oh, I wish I shoulda, woulda, coulda. We got to focus on it right now. Um, Maxie wanted nothing to do with Anna. Absolutely nothing. Maxie pretty much disowned Anna because I agreed with Maxie when she said that, it's a sad shame that Obrecht, she felt Obrecht was the most honest with her the entire time and Anna wasn't. You know what I mean? Because Anna has been sitting on this hot gossip for a long minute now. And that's what I was saying yesterday in the video. I didn't understand why Anna let it get this far. Like, you knew this. Like, you let it get all the way to the wedding for you to try to stop it and say something. And Anna, for a smart person, you just been acting very dumb lately. I'm like, then you sitting there telling Maxie that you and Valentine tried to detain Peter. And that's when Maxie put two and two together and figured out Anna had something to do with the kidnapping. I say, Anna, stop talking. Because now you're incriminating yourself. Like, this is now a legal matter. Stop talking. Stop volunteering information, please. Like, I understand you want to confess your sins, but be quiet because this is now a legal matter. Just zip. Um, because loose lips sink ships. Like, just be quiet. Um, so yeah, Maxie wanted nothing to do with Anna at that point. She was basically just chewing Anna ass out, telling her like, I don't even recognize you at this point. And I honestly could not blame Maxie for that smackdown. I couldn't blame her for that because Anna has been acting a fool over Peter for quite some time now. I'm like, come on now. Like, she was just acting a plum fool. Jordan's sitting there all pissy because she's the last to find out everything. I'm like, well, the WSB is not going to confide in a local commissioner what their plans are. Like, the WSB is above Jordan's pay grade. They don't have to tell her shit. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Because she was all pissy or whatever because Robert pretty much has known or suspected Peter of various crimes for months now, and he never did anything about it. I agree with Robert. What the hell could Robert do about it? He had no physical proof. Even when he went looking for evidence, he couldn't find nothing. So he can't lock somebody up on suspicion. That's not enough. So Jordan need to calm her little self down. If you were keeping an eye on the ball and knowing what the hell was going on in this town that you are the commissioner of, maybe you could have helped. But no, you were too busy with your own drama. So get off of Robert's ass. Um, I freaking love Valentine and Alexis' relationship. Even though they're not biological siblings, I love that vibe to them. Um, Alexis has come to trust Valentine. So she believes him when he say, like he knew, like he just recently found out what Peter was up to and stuff, that he got confirmation. She trusts him. And I'm glad Alexis was at, the hospital going to a meeting. And she admitted that she didn't go to the wedding for the sake of her sobriety and stuff like that. And I'm proud of Alexis. Like, she's earning my love back because, she was tripping these last few months. So I'm glad that she's back on a even kill. Spinelli wasn't having none of Valentine's shit. Like, he just kept blasting Valentine every chance he got because he felt like Valentine could have been did something about this. I don't blame Spinelli for being pissed off. But I freaking love Britt though because Britt be telling Maxie the truth. Like, Britt was just letting Maxie know, like, whose lies are worse, Anna's or Peter's? And I do agree. I mean, she has every right to be ticked off at Anna because she's been sitting on this shit for a while now. But at the end of the day, she has a right to be upset, but at the same time, she doesn't, the way I feel, because anytime somebody tried to tell Maxie about Peter, she didn't want to hear it. So I felt like even if Anna were to say something, Maxie still probably wouldn't want to hear it. She probably would have accused Anna of X, Y, and Z, just like she's been doing everybody else in that town. She wasn't listening to anybody. So I don't even think Anna could have got to her, even if Anna were to say something. So I definitely agree with Britt. Like, whose lives are worse, Peter or Anna's? I mean, Anna was wrong for not coming to her about it, but at the same time, Peter's the one that you need to be mad about. You know, that's the one that you really need to be pissed off at. Um, so she was saying, I'm trying to figure that out too. With this whole, I'm online right now trying to read and trying to figure out what the hell is going on with Roger Howarth. I'm sorry, I just got a little, cause I'm like, is he really leaving? I'm still hung up on that. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to find any news on that. But when Peter dumbass showed up to the hospital and stuff, Maxie was actually expecting to see Peter. She wanted to see Peter. Um, she was surprised that Spinelli and Sam showed up to the hospital after everything Peter did to Jason and Drew. She really wasn't expecting them to show up, but she was happy that they did because they don't blame her for Peter's actions. Peter is at fault for Peter's actions, not Maxie. Um, so of course, Peter standing outside her room acting all foolish, talking about Maxie, I'm here. I'm like, Peter, if you don't shut up with all that damn hollering, shut your mouth, Peter. Peter, pumpkin eater, be quiet. Um, Maxie wanted to see him though. I'm curious to see what Maxie is gonna say to him. I'm very curious. I want to see. Hopefully, she chew his ass out. Hopefully, Maxie is done playing that game where she doesn't believe anything about him. Like, hopefully, she's opening up her eyes now to see he's guilty of sin. Hopefully, she's willing to do something about this. And I hope like hell they find that recording on Franco's phone. I hope so. I hope he stored it in the cloud or something, sent it via email. I hope so. Like, hopefully. But hopefully we don't have to go weeks or months trying to pin this whole crime on Jason. And they figure, I mean, it shouldn't be hard to figure out Jason didn't shoot him because they could easily test his gun to prove that it wasn't his gun. So anyway, hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode, and I will see you all later. Hope you all have a great day. Peace.